Caroline Glick is a former assistant foreign policy advisor to Benjamin Netanyahu, and she joins us now, and I believe maybe still advising him to this day, but thank you so much for coming on tonight. We appreciate it. When you hear this report from the New York Times that Biden was ready to sell this country out, just at thought of responding to this massive arsenal that Iran had sent, that is unbelievable to me.
It's pretty appalling. I mean, you know, we already knew that it had already come out that he told us that we should take a win because we intercepted 99% of the 300 projectiles that stayed over here. And you can't take a win from defense. You can only take a win from offense. They just attacked us for the first time in history directly from Iran on Israel. And yeah, only 1% of the missiles came in. Well, thank you very much. So 3 of them came in. What would have happened if they had struck strategic sites and hurt them? I mean, they were all directed towards strategic sites. So, you know, it's this game. It cost us over $1 billion shekels or dollars actually in one night, you know, to intercept these missiles. And this is a sucker's game. You know, those missiles to shoot over cost a fraction of what we had to do in order to intercept them. And beyond that, we didn't, you know, if you don't undermine, if you don't weaken this regime, they're obviously getting the messages. They can just do it over and over and over again.
And there was not, was there a response from
Yes, there was a response. And what Israel ended up doing, because we were trying to make the best of this horrific situation, don't forget that the United States controls most of the airspace between Israel and Iran through Iraq and Jordan. So, you know, you're talking about an ability, if they don't want to deconflict, then they can actually, you know, conceivably shoot down our jets en route to a counterattack. So it's a real threat. I'm out. What does that mean? You know, and you have GPS coverage of American satellites for our Air Force. So, I mean, there's a lot of vulnerabilities because Israel's been operating all these years on the assumption that the United States is our enemy, not our ally, not Iran's.
Right.
So, you know, we did attack, and what we did was we exposed our capabilities. So we were showing them that we could attack their nuclear sites by destroying the coverage, the anti-aircraft coverage covering some of their nuclear sites, showing them that, yes, in fact, we can hit you whenever we want. But the problem is, of course, if the United States is coming in on Iran's side, they're sending a devastating message for Israel to Iran.
It's he's so beholden. I mean, and all of this comes back to, as I'm sure you know, it all comes back to concerns about whether or not they can win this next election in a couple key states where they've got a lot of people very angry with them. And that's what, to sell out an ally in a moment like this, I mean, it's such a big world problem, and it comes down to just petty partisan politics in the United States.
I mean, I beg to differ. You have key people in the administration like Meir Bitar, who's one of the most powerful men in the White House. He's in charge of the Pentagon and the intelligence community at the NSA, at the National Security Council, and he's special counsel to the president. And his past actions outside of government indicate, you know, both as a head of a boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement at Georgetown University, and working for UNRWA in Jerusalem, which, as we've discovered now, is just a diplomatic arm for Hamas.
I see exactly what you mean, and we've covered stories about how, you know, there's been people, and I think in the State Department that have been, you know, there's one guy that was accused of effectively being like an Iranian spy that was working in the U.S. State Department. Where did these Mali? Where did these people? I mean, how did they get in? How did our administration get so corrupted by this? This is so anti-Western, so anti-American. We have people that hate our way of life running our country.
Well, I mean, don't forget, most of these people, or all of these people, were also officials in the Obama administration, like Hadi Amar, who is the special envoy for the Palestinians. He wrote a policy paper in Qatar, which is state sponsor of Hamas. He wrote a paper at the Brookings Institute in Qatar in 2018 calling for the United States to change its counterterror laws in order to work directly with Hamas and fund directly NGOs that were working with Hamas. So, you know, and he's now in charge of U.S. policy towards the Palestinians in the State Department. So, you know, you're talking about an administration of Obama administration alumni, who were then promoted to more senior positions in the Biden administration. But, you know, they were brought in by Obama.
Caroline Glick, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Good to have you on tonight.
It was great being with you, and welcome to Jerusalem.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and hit subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and inspired. This is Dejobnik signing off.